Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and a puzzle by an unknown author today. Now, I thought, as I occasionally do, I would have a look at a puzzle that I didn't get to during the last round of the Sudoku Grand Prix. This is a competition under the auspices of the World Puzzle Federation that happens about every 4 weeks in the first 7 months of the year. There are actually 8 rounds, and it contains puzzles that are similar to the World Sudoku Championship that will follow it, and that's going to be in Hungary this year, I believe. Now, the types of puzzle have remained very consistent in the World Sudoku Championship and the Sudoku Grand Prix since their inceptions. They tend to be puzzles with a number of given digits and one fairly simple rule, often a traditional one like Thermo Sudoku or Arrow Sudoku, but there's a little bit of innovation pretty much every month, and I had never tried, as far as I know, a puzzle with this exact rule on it about alternating stripes. I didn't try it in the competition, possibly partly because of unfamiliarity. Now, this particular round of the competition contained 18 puzzles, whereas normally about 13. And I thought, well, that implies that the puzzles are going to be a little bit easier than usual, and that might suit my strengths. I might be able to get through 16 or 17 of them. I normally approach the end and don't quite finish. And if I do that, I'll get a good score. Well, that did not transpire. As usual, I managed to submit, I think I submitted 13 puzzles, got 12 of them right, and finished disappointingly, I mean, still in the top 200 of over 1,000, which isn't bad. But in the first couple of rounds this year, I finished in the top 50. So I was delighted with those performances. You probably have to bear in mind that although many of the competitors are absolute geniuses and you see them at the World Sudoku Championships and they ply their trade there and you can see how good they are under test conditions, these tests, you could use one of the many Sudoku tools if you wanted to get a good score. I doubt that many people do that, but it has to be borne in mind. I like to tell myself that 1 or 2 of the people ahead of me might have not played by the rules. I'm sure it's not true. Anyway, now we don't know the authors, so all we know each month is which countries puzzle setters have provided the fodder for the competition. And last month it was Croatia. Next month it'll be the USA. The dates of the competition, I think, are the 4th to the 9th of April. So you can put in Sudoku GP into your browser and look that up, register with the World Puzzle Federation, have a go at the competition during that weekend. You have to set aside 90 minutes at some point. Press the start button, use the password that reveals, and print out the puzzles and solve them, and then enter solutions. It's a very fraught 90 minutes when it happens, and you're well, in my case, I assume, as for most people, you're kind of dependent on your printer speed and having a go at one puzzle while it's available and then moving on to the others. But I find the competition stress quite enjoyable, which will mark me out as a bit of a lunatic. Now, I will go through the rules of this puzzle in a minute. As I say, there's a slightly unusual rule that I don't think I've used before, or certainly not for a long time. But first of all, I'm going to mention that on Patreon, coming up on the 1st of March, we have the new April Fool Sudoku Hunt, which will involve a bit of wrong information in every puzzle. Roggen, you might say, and we think you'll enjoy that a lot. On Patreon, of course, we have solves of the previous month's puzzles, we have extra Sudoku solves, crossword solves, connections, loads of content. We do urge you to join us there, it's great fun. As are our apps, which feature line Sudoku, just a bit like today, and the latest is, of course, Fog of War Sudoku. They're a great way of whiling away the time. You could also support SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD from the links under the video, or get our merch, which features Amber Pictures' design of a 2025 secret shirt. So do have a look at that. We will go through the rules of the puzzle now. So as I say, there's plenty of givens in this puzzle, but the normal rules apply. So 1 to 9 will have to end up in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Along each orange or grey stripe, digits must be alternately larger and smaller than their immediate neighbours. So along this one you might go a number, then a larger one, then a smaller one than that, then a larger one than the one before, or it might go the other way around. Now that's not a vast amount of information, certainly not when none of the lines have digits on. There is a further rule which actually is probably very important. Digits may not repeat anywhere on a stripe. So those are the rules of alternating stripes Sudoku, it's called. I have no idea how it plays. No, I do. I'm told it was 48 points. Oh goodness, I'm going to have to do the maths now. So the overall test, I think, is 600 points. I'm getting my calculator out, I can tell you. So 600 points divided by 90 minutes suggests that you should be picking up 6.7 points a minute, and then 48. So the experts, by which I mean people who finish the test in the time allowed, and I have, I think, only once done it in about 50 goes, very rare. I get close sometimes, but not finishing it. The experts will expect to finish this puzzle in 7.2 minutes. So there's your target if you think you're an expert. Do tell us how you get on. I am going to basically start the puzzle now and have a go. I haven't looked at it apart from loading it into the software, so let's get cracking. I didn't attempt it, as I said, during the puzzle. So 1 is in one of those positions in box 6. 5 is placed in box 4. 4, 5's looking into that box. 8 is going to be in one of those. I'm really just scanning around, trying to find something to go on. There's a naked single. 5, 7, 2, 9 in the column, 6, 3, 1, 8 in the row. That gives us a naked digit there. Then these are 2, 5, 9. Now we're beginning to touch the lines, although not helpfully, to be honest. 4, 6, 3, 5. Oh, what next? 4. Is that a 4? That is a 4. That's a 4. Come on, 4s. Ran out. 2, 9, 5, 7, 4. 6. Ooh, 6 in this box is one of 2 positions on the line, but we don't know if that's higher or lower. Oh, that does mean 6 won't repeat on this line by the rule. So 6 in the central box is in one of those 2 spots. That seems to be naked. That's a 6, isn't it? And then we've got, then I can place 1 and 8 down the final column. So the final column's finished suddenly. 1, 8, 3, 5, 5, 2, 4, 3, 8. 9 is in one of those 2 spots. Now, we've got, well, that has to be lower than 8 because it can't be 9. That must be higher than that, then this is lower. So that can't be a 9. So we get to place 9 in the top row. That's on a line where it's higher than this, obviously. Okay, that doesn't tell me much else. But this is a 2-4 pair. So he's 1, 8, 7, 6, 9 in the box, 3, 5 in the column. That's a 3, 5 pair. Now, this digit has to be higher than that one, and this one lower than this. So this can't be a 5, or it wouldn't obey the rule. So that's a 2. That can't repeat on the line, so that's a 4, and this must be a 5 to be higher than the 4. There we go. Now we get a 3 on this line. That lets us place 3 in the final box. Now we are cooking. Or, yes, this can't be lower than 3, so we know the alternation pattern. High, low, low, high, low. What did I say? Low, high, low. So this is the highest digit on this line in this box. So it must be 8, and that is a 6-1 pair. That doesn't work here because I don't know what these are. Let's just keep going. There's a 1 in one of those cells. Oh, it's not on the grey line. Then these are 6, 7, 9 in some order. These are also from 6, 7, 9 in this box. That's not 9. Now we're going up and then down, but then up from 6 or 7 to not 7 or 8. So that must be a 9. That's 2 or 6. This is 1, 2 or 6, and it's lower than 4. That doesn't quite finish it off. This is higher than 3, which is, well, relatively unexciting information. Okay, on this line we're going lower. That's not... Oh, it can't be 6, actually. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Stop talking nonsense. 5 is placed in column 6. These are from 3, 6, 7. Oh, I'm floundering around. I should use the non-repeat rule. 1, 8, 6, 3. We can't have 9 or 5 on this line, so this is 2, 4, and 7. This is 3 and 6 in these cells. Surely there's something to tell me which way round they go. I don't see it though. Now, this line, oh yes, we're going to know how these alternate. High, low, high. So this is the lowest of the 3. That's 2, that's 7, that's 4. This just has to be lower than 7, doesn't tell us what it is. 4, 4, that's a 4. This is Sudoku. There must be a lot of Sudoku popping out now. There's a 3 in one of those cells. I said there would be, but I don't see it. 2 is in one of those 2. That is impossible to be a 2 because of this line. It would have to be higher than both those, and they're not allowed to both be 1. So I'm putting 2 there. This is obviously higher than 2 and 4 now because that is higher than 2. That's not very helpful. This can't be 1 though, so 1 ends up in one of those 2 positions in the box. One of those 2. We've got 5 on that line. We've had that since the beginning. 8. Oh, come on. Loads of Sudoku must be available. 8's in one of those cells. 9, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, where should I be looking for this Sudoku? You can see it, and I just can't at the moment. 3, 5, 2, 8, 7. That's a 4. That's 1 or 9. That's from 1, 6, 9. 2 is in one of those cells. I'm still probably going to need to use the lines. It's quite clever, the puzzle. 8 is in one of those, so that's a 1, 8 pair. 1 was a much harder digit to find in those, and I found that, but I didn't find the 8. 4, 9, 7, right, 1 there. This is finishing off the column. That's a 2. 2, 1, 4, 7, 5. This is a 3. Oh, now we know the alternation pattern. Yes, that does help. That has to be a 1. 3 and 7 here. Let's concentrate on not making mistakes at this point. This is a 1, 6, 8 triple. That has to be a 6 by Sudoku. Good. This one is a 6 to complete the column. That's a 9. That's an 8. First 3 columns done. That's a 7, 9 pair. 8 and 1 go in there. That's going to fix the bottom row. 2 and 6. Oh yes, the other is done by a 7. That's now 6. That's now 3. I'm not even looking at the lines anymore because that's just going to slow me down, isn't it now? That line did work though. I noticed that as we went by. This is 7 or 9 and so's that. This is 6. We've got a deadly pattern that must be resolved by one of the lines. Oh, we can't repeat the 9 on that line. That'll do it. So there we go. And that's the solution. What's the time? 7 minutes and 3 seconds. Well, that's not bad. That's just under the 7.2 minutes I said would be a very speedy time. Now, there may be a slight advantage from having put it into the software and being able to use the software. And also, I changed what were all grey lines on the original so that some are orange, which I think helps visibility, but might not really make any difference because you know all the lines are straight. But I'm pretty pleased with that time. That was firing along. I hope I haven't made any errors because this is the solution I will enshrine into the software when you attempt the puzzle. This is the solution that will be presented as the correct solution. I'm just checking the lines to see that they alternate in the required way, and I think they do. So there we go. It's a good puzzle. I should have attempted that during the competition because I don't normally hit the par time. And do give the Sudoku Grand Prix a go. It's great fun. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching, as always, on the channel. And we hope to see you. Nice quick one today. We hope to see you again tomorrow. Probably a harder puzzle, but we'll see. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.